Christopher Gilbert, and today I'm going to be talking to you about quantum mechanics, a subject so perplexing that it even baffled the people who discovered it. But don't take my word for it, let's see what they had to say. From Wolfgang Pauli, I wish I were a movie comedian or something like that, and had never even heard of physics. From Niels Bohr, if you think you understand it, that only shows you don't know the first thing about it. From Erwin Schrödinger, I don't like it, and I'm sorry I ever had anything to do with it. And my favorite of all, from Albert Einstein. This theory reminds me a little of a system of delusions of an exceedingly intelligent paranoiac, concocted of incoherent elements of thought. He was German after all. But if the greatest minds of the 20th century couldn't even comprehend quantum mechanics, then why should you listen to me, a 15-year-old kid? Because I'm not just any 15-year-old kid. I'm a boy genius 15-year-old kid. In fact, I even wrote this award-winning book on quantum mechanics when I was just 12 years old. And if you call the number on screen, you can get it for just $17.99. That's right, call now and get it for just $17.99. But in all seriousness, I actually do know my stuff. I've been learning and loving quantum mechanics for a third of my life now. And even writing the book taught me that, although quantum mechanics seems daunting at first, if you learn it pretty simply and without much math, then quantum can really be for anyone. But now, what even is quantum mechanics? Well, in order to answer that rhetorical question I just set up for myself, let's get a definition. The subatomic principles in particles that probabilistically predict the properties of parts of the universe. In other words, how tiny things work. Tiny things being atoms, neutrons, protons, electrons, quarks, neutrinos, bosons, fermions, leptons, muons, and pretty much anything smaller than or at the size of an atom. Just to give you a sense of that scale, the ratio between the size of an atom and the size of a particle of dust is the same as the ratio from a particle of dust to the size of the entire Earth. Just think about that for a minute. These atoms are so unimaginably tiny that they have to have a whole different set of laws to describe their behavior. And these laws are so incomprehensible that even Einstein couldn't get his head around it. But the most interesting part to me is that it still perfectly describes the world we live in. In fact, quantum mechanics is the most well-tested theory in the history of science. But if you want to find out what those tests were, and what we found out for them, then I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.